Could Yamaha be working on a new MX? Well, this is my prediction to what the new MX could look like and some of the features it might have. Now, again, this is my prediction. This is not from Yamaha. These pictures are my render that I put together. But before we jump in, this is a key breakthrough. If you love keyboards, you'll love this channel. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment below and share what your take is on this prediction. Okay, now let's jump in. Now, Yamaha has been really good at this, putting out a flagship board, then putting out a second tier board, a little more affordable with less features, and then putting out another tier lower than that with less features and for a lower price. Here are some classic cases on this. In 2003, Yamaha released the flagship Motif ES. And 3 years later, they released the Yamaha Mo, a stripped down version, more affordable with less features, but still a great pro keyboard. Then in 2007, they released the Yamaha MM, which was an even less expensive keyboard with less pro features. Then a few iterations later, they released the Yamaha Motif XF flagship keyboard. In the same year, 2010, they came out with the Mo X, which later turned into the Mo XF. Then in 2013, they released the Yamaha MX. Then in 2016, they released the new flagship, the Montage. Then 2 years later, they released the Yamaha Mo DX. But 2 years previously, in 2016, they released a newer version of the MX, which gave it different colors, and a USB audio driver, which gave the MX audio interface capabilities. Now today, we have the latest flagship, which was released in 2023, the Yamaha Montage M. Then 2 years later, they released a more affordable version, the Yamaha Mo DX M. So it leaves me to believe that they're going to be coming out with another MX. I like to call it the MXM, and this is how I think it will look. All right, now let's look at the left side of the panel here. Next to the volume knob, you see another knob, right? I think they will add a audio and volume knob. I think it'll be a really welcome feature. But the thing that stands out the most, I think, in this render are sliders. Yes, 4 of them. I think they'll give you some sliders in the next MX. And as you look all the way to the right, yes, you see it. I think they will add a super knob. Now this might be the most surprising feature. I think there is a good chance they could add this. Moving on to the middle of the keyboard, they will get rid of the extra screen on the old one, and they will just combine them, and I think they will make a larger screen. Now, it won't be touchscreen, but I do think it'll be larger and it will be color. Now, to the right side of the panel, I think things will look pretty similar to what's currently out there. Now, I do think they'll add some more buttons for more functionality. Now, these are the two units stacked up. The current model, the MX, on top, and my render at the bottom. I think they'll be similar in size and in weight. Yes, I do think we might see 3 sizes, the 49, the 61, and the 88 key. Okay, so let's look at some similarities here. I think on this end, they'll keep the scroll wheel, they'll keep the category buttons, and they'll also keep the layer and split buttons. They want to keep this board simple. I think that's one thing they did well with the first iteration. Now, some of the main differences I think we'll see, again, the screen. I think the screen will be a lot larger. The system buttons, I think they'll move that to the right side of the panel. And the category and performance buttons, I think they'll add those to this keyboard. Okay, now to the left side of the panel, the similarities here, I think they'll keep the transpose and octave buttons and the 4 knobs. For sure, I think they'll keep all those. As for differences, like I said, I think it's a good chance we might see a super knob. They'll add a rhythm pattern button, arpeggiator on and off switch, and also a motion synthesis on and off switch. And again, I do think it'll be a great idea for them to add that audio and volume knob. So now let's look underneath the hood. Sound engines, I think the sound engines will be the same. The AM2 engine will be in the new one. The polyphony will stay the same. 128 notes. Presets, I think there'll be more presets, maybe a few hundred more, maybe like around 1,300 compared to the 1,100. Arpeggiators, I think they'll double the arpeggiators to 2,000 types. And as far as the screens, I think it'll be about a 5-inch color screen. And as far as the I/O, I think it'll be pretty much about the same. Left and right mono, a standard stereo phone jack, pedal inputs for the foot controller and sustain, MIDI in and out, USB to host and to device, aux in, and DC power. And this might be a treat for some. I do think they'll add in a plugin, just like they did for the Montage and the Montage M. This will be an expanded soft synth plugin, which is basically an MXM plugin that replicates the whole board. I do think they might add this. Now, how about that pricing? I still think it'll be budget for the the entry to pro level. I think it'll be a little bit more than the current model. So the current MX pricing right now, 49 keys is $649. The new one for 49 keys will be 100 more, I think. Currently for the 61 key MX, you can get it for $899. I think the new one will be $999. And currently the MX 88 is $1299 USD. I think the new version might be up to $1,599. All right, so that's my take on what Yamaha might drop. They might call it the MXM, I don't know. But I'm curious to hear what you all have to say. Please leave a comment. Tell me what you think about each of these points. And thank you once again for tuning in to Key Breakthrough. I'll catch you all in the next one.